Even though
Oh, hey, you guys, welcome back to our live. We're reviewing Married at First Sight with Crystal Lynette, Misha Allen. And
thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you so much. Let's just go ahead and get it started. So, because this has been a day, I know that the flyer didn't get up till late, which is my fault. I'm learning Premiere. Okay, I'm learning. So just bear with me. So I'm gonna hit Misha with the heavy hitter. I really want to know what she thinks of Miss Mirla, and Gil.
um, I feel, I really feel that he's getting the brunt of the hard work. Marriage is hard work, it's tough, it's all of these things, and I feel like that's kind of all being put on Gil now, because I feel like we thought they were doing better this season, but this one just seems completely off. And it seems like they went back to their old ways with Gil and Marla. Like, okay, you're like, you don't spin crazily, and you have a shopping problem. Let's put you together. And so, but now it's like, okay, now Gil has to do all the work. And now Gil's supposed to be the one to get her to slow her spending habits down. Now Gil's supposed to humble her. And I'm just like, I don't feel like it's fair to Gil watching it, seeing all the family and friends making faces every time she spoke. I was like, my goodness. Then though I kind of feel like Merle, I don't know. I don't know. I don't feel like her intentions are pure. um, she does seem a little like she has this facade. Even okay, so I understand it's married at first sight, they're just meeting. You're not entitled to having to kiss the person at the altar. I get it. But I felt like it was tactic from her. I feel like it was her trying to play hard to get. And I don't think I just saw it as I didn't even feel like it was about her being comfortable. I just felt like it was tactic for her, and it made me look at her a certain way. And just, even the whole comment, well, at first I was distracted by his bald head, and then I saw his eyes and I got over it. I'm like, girl, shut up. Like, but yeah, they, I don't know.
Misha,
I don't know. Yes.
you are a makeup artist. I'm gonna take you back into that bridal suite. What did you think when she was talking to the makeup artist like that?
Um, couldn't have been me. Couldn't have been me. But
Listen,
my whole thing is, okay, you're supposed to have like a trial, a consultation. It's a wedding. Like, I've never done a wedding where I just go in the day of. No, there's talking, there's communication, what styles of makeup, what pictures of, like, do you want to reference, blah blah blah. So it's kind of like you're finding an issue now.
right. Now, the only thing I can give them is maybe because of COVID, they didn't do a pre-trial, and because of everything, because it was married first sight, and they don't want to pay these makeup artists extra
Mm.
for an additional day, so they didn't have a pre-trial. But that was she was rude, and
Yes.
okay, and that's what I was saying to someone else. I wish if she had sensitive skin or something like that, just say, you know, only wear a certain type of foundation. I only, please use this, or I can't use these type of things. But she was just like, I don't want my makeup to look like that. I don't want my eyes to look like hers. Like I was like, just let them do what they do, and they know if it's too much or too little, or you say you want a clean look. I don't want a vibrant lip, something like that. But she was like, I don't want my makeup to look like hers. I don't want my eyes to look like hers. And I was like, your eyes, you're not like your chocolate bridesmaid. You're not gonna look like your bridesmaid. These the black women. I was like, so why does she keep doing that? So, and I know that this is the narrative that they're trying to paint. Well, not trying to. She's
Mhm.
giving them the rope. She's giving it to them.
Right.
But I was like, you're being rude and condescending. You need to just stop. And so the girls, they were like, here comes Bridezilla. So I said, I wish that they keep talking to her like that. So she keeps having a mirror up to herself because the way she's acting now, that was just rude. Like, and somebody said, I wonder she's the type that's probably rude to service people, to probably rude to
I can't
waiters and
stand that.
waitresses. I
I
can't
can't
stand
stand
that.
that.
But you're going to be getting your makeup done, and there's stage makeup, there's makeup because there's cameras, there's all of those type of things. So why are you talking to these people like this? That was rude. And yeah, and I know, like you said, you couldn't have been you. When he mentioned that he's a dog dad and that he has a pit bull. Yes, he
Mhm.
sheds, but she was like she was just so all her facial. They are going to cut her the clips of her facial expressions. That's going to be so
That's
fun.
even when like they kept cutting to the family and stuff. I was like, I wonder if they were really making that face right at that moment or if they just cut it and edit it to make it look like that. But it was a lot of frowning faces. That's all I'll say.
Yes, there was a lot of frowning faces. When they mentioned the dog, like they knew when to say something. They knew or when the camera knew when to. Oh well, let's put the camera on the mom at this point and stuff. But Gil is almost too sweet. It reminded me a little bit of. Now their vows didn't remind me of Bree and Vincent, but that juxtaposition, like you said, she spends a lot. He's conservative. That just really giving type of person that reminded me so much of Vincent and Brianna. And um, she's kind of uptight. I just think she's kind of uptight. She signed
I,
up for this.
I liked his vows. I thought they were like so sweet and really showed his giving side. And she claims that she wants to give to people too, and that's her purpose in life. But then she mentions red bottoms and other things in her vows, and it's just like, huh?
Right.
I don't know.
But like you said, I do wonder if he's going to end up taking the brunt of the weight of this marriage, the weight of
Right.
um I gotta make her like me, and I gotta do all of these things. Yeah, she just seems so mean, and just like first the way she talked to the makeup artist, that was unacceptable to me. And
Hmm.
also a lot of these people, they're like, oh well, I know what I don't want. And her wedding dress was very pretty. Loved her wedding dress, but
I thought it was I don't know. I don't, never mind. I won't say it.
go
But
ahead, say it. Go ahead. That's what we're here for.
because I don't want, but I can't, I'll explain myself. But I felt like it was very revealing, very out there. It was beautiful, but it definitely showed her materialistic side, I would say. But so to have this materialistic side and like this, have that dress that's revealing, and then to act like you're so shy or reserved and you don't want to kiss at the altar and you don't want to do this or that, it was kind of like, huh?
Right,
But I don't know. I feel like you got to pick a side. Either you're going to be conservative or you're going to be the materialistic. Because I feel like she keeps kind of hopping back and forth with, oh, I am with her career. Well, I do this, I do that, but I'm this and this. And it's like, I'm just kind of like, pick a side, Merla.
right.
Who do you want to be? Do
Who
you
do you
want
want to
to be
be?
the showy facade girl, or do you want to be the girl that's has a heart and is helpful? Because how can you say all that stuff and then you're kind of making these faces about a dog.
Yes.
So
You mentioned red bottoms twice.
yes.
Yeah, and I think your Tia Maria is so interesting. I think you're right. I think that he's somebody that will tell her about herself. I think that when the time is right, yeah, he's used to women. He said in his intro that I have no problem getting women. I have no problem getting women. So I think that he will be able to stick up for himself. But I definitely think he wants this though. I don't think that he wants to be out there as much as he was.
I
So
saw the nice, I don't know, maybe because it's the wedding day, but I didn't see that when they were meeting. And I understand that because it's the first time they're meeting, first impressions. I did, for me, on the actual, like outside of him and Marla, when they were showing him with his friends and him with the other guys, he seemed like that guy that he would speak up and all of that. But once he was actually with Marla, I saw him, I want to say, kind of back down from that a little bit, where I
yeah,
saw where there was a side of him that just wanted to please her, that wanted her to like him. So, but hopefully, but maybe, he might have a short, what do you call it? I don't want to say temperament, but like I'll think of the word later, but like a short tolerance. Tolerance, that's what you call it.
tolerant
Maybe
for
he
her
won't
stuff.
be able to tolerate her stuff for long and he'll just have to let her know what it is. But yeah, we'll see with that.
I hope so. I definitely I hope that he will speak up when the time is right
Mhm.
because she's gonna try to run all over him. She's gonna try to run all over him, and I think that he's the type that he's not gonna let her when the time gets right. So. So because I was like, I gotta ask Misha what she thought of these that scene in the makeup with the other ladies.
It didn't make sense. It kind of, like I'm saying, like it seemed like her intentions weren't pure, because like to me it didn't make sense, first of all, like, and secondly, if you know you're picky, your skin sensitive or whatever, bring products that only work for you. So to say I don't want this, I don't want mine like that, it was kind of condescending.
Right.
All you have to say is what you want. What are you telling them what you don't want? They need to know what you actually want. So
That's what I think is like. It's almost like that's what I was saying to Maria. It's almost like these people, they know what they don't want, but they don't know what they want. Say, hey, I have
Mhm.
sensitive skin, and you could tell that she had no foundation on. Her eyes look so pretty, but then she's gonna have just her these red cheeks. I said, oh yeah, that did not work. That did not work. Okay, so before we get so okay, so let's go before we're gonna leave our two Michaela and Zach for last. What did you think of the
Mhm.
tea ceremony? Because we were talking about how we couldn't wait for the tea ceremony last time. So what did you think of that tea ceremony?
I loved it. I think they're so like I think they're so cute together. I love that she's feminine around him. I feel like she softens up around him
Mm,
versus the whole spreadsheet and blah blah blah. But I think that's also because they have a lot of similarities. I think she's finding that out. And I'm glad she got over the whole football jersey wedding gift thing. But I like them together. I thought it was beautiful. It's a beautiful moment for them and their family. So yeah, I thought it was a great start
I love
to, yeah.
I love the tea ceremony, but I think that those gifts are going to be a conversation for later. I don't think that she's going to.
Really.
I don't think she's going to let that go. And I think, and now that's interesting. You say that about her softening up around him
Mm-hmm.
because I do think you're right. She is learning to relax,
Mm-hmm.
and I think that she's happy that okay, this is somebody I met 10 years ago, but we never actually dated. So I think
Mhm.
that she's like, okay, maybe this might be a good idea. Maybe the experts didn't know what they were talking about, but she's gonna bring that up later. The tea ceremony was so pretty,
Mhm.
and I just love stuff like that.
Yeah.
What did you think about his father not being there? And
I think it's unfortunate. Honestly, I felt like I feel like the reason, I don't want to make it about race, but I feel like the father part of it was him not like him thinking, like not knowing the partner, and maybe him thinking a different race other than Vietnamese would be the wife. And I think that like kind of played into him not agreeing with it. So I think if he knew he was marrying a Vietnamese woman, a woman of standard, a woman who is traditional like him, then I think he probably would had a different opinion towards it. But being that it's married at first sight and there's all this train wreck of things going on, and on top of that, they don't even have what it sounds like a great relationship to begin with. So I think it's sad, but I think he missed out on something.
yes,
Mhm.
that's I said. Gosh, I I felt so bad because I said the father probably would have loved that. Loved seeing
Yeah, I
like
think he thought it was going to be worse than, or I
yeah,
don't know what he thought it would be, but I don't think he thought it would be that.
right. Yeah.
Hmm.
So I'm gonna let you start, Michaela and Zach.
Let's start. Let's start with their emotional states, both of them, because a lot of people mention Zach crying, but I think it's both of them. And yeah, men can show their emotions and yada 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 and have the soft side, but when do you cut it off? When because I feel like every scene with him or his family, somebody's crying. And I'm just like, okay, enough. By the time we got to the wedding day, I was like, okay, Zach, I've seen enough. That's like, but yeah, I felt like it was a bit much. I think it shows his vulnerability. And then when Michaela's crying, and then she turns into this like just in your face confidence, like you see the switch from when she's with the bridesmaids and all that, and then when she comes out and sees Zach, it's like completely different. And I'm like, okay, I don't know how to feel about it. It seems like they both kind of seem a little bit all over the place. Like they're not, I don't know. Then when she looks at him and says, I got you, I was like, oh Lord, she about to take this man for a ride. she about she is going she is going to take him through a roller coaster or something. I don't know. I just, and the whole, do you want to Zach Jr.? You ain't even said the vows. You all you said was hi. And did you catch when I think she told him you're gorgeous and he just said thank you?
He said you're gorgeous too. He did.
Okay. Okay.
You're fine with you're gorgeous as well.
Okay. But I was just like, I don't know. But as far, I don't know. I, like I said last week, I see kind of how he can be like the female page and kind of get wrapped up in the idea of marriage and just kind of go for whatever Michaela puts in front of him.
Do you have a point I love the fact that she was just really saying exactly what came out of her mouth when she said it.
Mhm.
And I love the fact that she's just like full of life. And I love her as a person. I am concerned that, and I think it was you that I was talking about that. Is she leading with sex? Is she just going to be? She was like, okay, let's go. She was like, she said, "Do you want little Zach's before the vows?" She said that before the vows, and in front, I was like, "Is that? Did you say that in front of your mama?" I was like,
His parents too.
"Yes, too." So I was like, "Okay, yeah, just pull back a little, sis." So, um, I appreciate that the sexual attention was there, and they were attracted to each other. All of that's great, but at the same time, I said she's going to be a lot, and I think that I do like his response though when she said, "Do you want little Zach's?" He said, "It's up to you." So I love that about him. I think that he's the more. She said, "I like the fact that he's shy." So I said, "Okay, I hope that you take that into consideration." So
Yeah.
this is going to be interesting. Let's go back to his emotions though.
Hmm.
You said it's okay for a man to cry, but you were just like, okay, that's enough. Full stop. Um, and we've had this debate on Maria's show that he started crying. I think it was in the limousine. Like it all kind of just like hit him like
He
a
was
in the gut.
crying. It was multiple scenes where he was still crying. It was I don't know how like long, but I remember he was crying by himself, then his mom came and he was crying more. And it yeah, yeah. It was a lot.
I'm wondering if he's the type um he's the type that won't be able to speak, exactly articulate what he's thinking.
Mhm.
And when he's going through all of these emotions and he's just crying, you know, yeah. And like just said, I think Michaela's adrenaline took over her
I
default position humor. Oh, yeah. And it was very cute. Like she had this like nervous laugh, but yeah, I was like, okay, you got them. They like each other. They were, and I said maybe they're the types that'll have these like funny jokes and they're just like laugh to each other and just be like giddy with each other. I hope so, but my
I I,
my
I
hope is
saw him getting like sucked up in her. And then I was like, oh
mm,
Lord. 'Cause I'm like, I think I just feel like he'll get lost in her because
in
he's so caught up in this idea of marriage and happiness. But yeah, I definitely agree with Light. Like you can see the nervous, he doesn't pick up on the nervousness. He just sees it as confidence and she's sure about herself. And I think he's just, I don't know. I just saw the wheels spin.
yeah, like that's not his personality. Okay, I was talking to Ray about this. Did you see when she said that he's a Renaissance man?
Yeah.
What did you think about that?
I
I'm hoping that it was nervousness. I'll be honest with you. So
Yeah, I
he's
think she was just trying to compliment her or compliment him because it was just like this whole like I forget all the other things she called him. But I think she was just trying to point out that he's a good match for her. And maybe she was drinking too. She could have been drinking too. But
so but he said that his father taught them how to crochet and make lotion when he was a kid.
oh, child, when he said that, I was like, crochet. I don't know. It's definitely, it's not what you would know a man to do. But again, we can't be stereotyping and all that stuff. But when I was sitting there watching it, the emotional state he's already shown,
Mm-hmm.
giving his personality he's already shown. Now he's talking about crocheting and lotion. I was like, oh Lord, what? I just saw it as Michaela gonna have a good time running him. around and doing whatever she wants with him.
Wow. I said, I don't even, maybe he doesn't even know what Renaissance man means. I said, you play professional piano. And that's what Maria said, that sometimes you are so, he doesn't even know what he's talking about because he's so in the moment and maybe he's not confident with himself. So that is so, because I was like, wait a minute, don't you play professional piano? Apparently he developed an app. Apparently he's an electrical engineer. Like, I was like, wait, what are you talking about? Lotion and then crocheting. I said, that is so random. That is, I didn't
Yeah,
get
that's I think that's what it was too. It was really random. It just came out of nowhere. So I was just like, huh? And they got all these scenes of him crying. And then you mentioned that and I'm like, huh? But
You think it was the editing? Now that you
yeah,
say that, now that you
I
say that, maybe
really
it was
think
the
it
editing.
was very like it didn't make sense to me. So I think that's why I was like, what? Like, what is he talking about? Because it just came like, I don't know. I don't know.
And that come out of nowhere. I was like, you play professional piano. That's
Mhm.
funny. That's funny. You have a point that maybe that was the editing because I'm sure he talked about crocheting and making lotion, but he probably didn't have it in that spot
That
within
sequence.
that sequence. That's funny. Now that I think about it, I was like, what crocheting and making lotion? My
Hmm.
concern is they are going to be all over each other. And are they really going to go deep and really get to know each other? That's that's my look, and because Michaela is ready to attack him.
Yeah, I think kind of see Michaela as what I kind of my concern for both of them is that Zach is going to get wrapped up in it, really, really fall for her hard, and she's going to be on to the next dude because she's like, I conquered you, I got what I wanted out of you. Now I'm bored. I'm gonna go to the next man, or like that's kind of what I see possibly happening because I don't see her. I don't know. I just see her. I think she moves on and moves on quick. And I think she'll be able to conquer Zach quick.
Wow,
So,
that I didn't even think of that. That's a good point because she's going to run all over him, and he's all wrapped up in the Michaela of it all. And
mm.
his world is going to be Michaela, and
When he was looking at her and like, I want to kiss, and I was just like, it's there's a part of it that's like, oh, but then there's a part of me that's like, ooh, Zach is going. He's
he's gone. He's
he's
fast. He's
falling for
headed
her.
fast. Right. He's
Mhm.
gone for her fast. That's funny. You have a good point. Because and you're right. You're right. Like he's gonna get totally wrapped up and she moves on to the next man, to the next man, to the next man. So we had this debate that so what was it, a month before she got on Married at First Sight, she was with someone. She said she was with someone. Now, I don't think that was that bad, but I do think that that is suspicious. I do think that did you had already signed up for it and
I really feel like she had to be for them to be rolling cameras and you say it was a month ago. It was probably 6 weeks at least before that. You at least applied.
you at least
Yeah.
applied. Apparently, I mean, I know that these shows are extensive, and I remember watching Ryan and Claire's before their
Mhm.
demise. They said that this is a long process. There's psychological evaluations. There's all kinds of evaluations and everything that they go through before they before they are accepted onto shows like this. So yeah, it was at least 6 weeks before. And the fact that she had to tell the guy, "Oh, I'm getting married." So to me, I'm like, if he was just a one night stand, if he was just,
Right.
why would you have
That
to
part.
tell him?
Mhm.
So Tia said Zach is gonna be like Alexia from Put a Ring on It.
Yeah.
He's gonna be just like all wrapped up in
Or Alexis from Ready to Love.
yes. Yes, she is put all her eggs. You know what? Just holding on, just hanging on. Whatever he says, whatever she says, I'll do. That's funny. Yes.
Mhm.
So okay, so next week we got two more weddings. Thank goodness. No, is it two or three? We got the last three
Two.
weddings.
It's Rachel and Jose and Brett and Ryan. Is there
So,
anyone else?
no, that's it. Thank goodness.
Okay.
So talk to me about Rachel and Jose. What do you think?
I like Rachel. I really do like her. She seems sincere. And yeah, although she seems to have some like insecurities or whatever, I do like her. My only concern, I just want to see what happens when she walks down the aisle. Is she Jose's type? Is he like going to be receptive towards her? That's my only concern with him because he seems to be the picky, controlling one. So that's where what I'm thinking about with them is what's going to happen when they interact.
I think I am interested in what's going to happen when they interact, but I think that picky and controlling is a facade of his insecurities. He is so
Mhm.
worried if she's gonna like him. If she is so worried if she's gonna be attracted to him. He is so worried about every, and I think that he worries about a lot of things. That's probably why he is so picky and so controlling, and he needs structure. And I'll tell you, I wish I had my budget down to this the most red cent, but all of those little things, she's like, I'm an around the way girl. Listen, I have my makeup everywhere. But I do think she can focus. She's a focused person when she needs to be. So I do think that's going to be a very interesting pair. But it's almost like these shows they do this where they said, let's do better this time, but let's put somebody picking and controlling with somebody like Rachel, who's nice and sweet. Let's put somebody like Gil, who is a nice guy, who's a firefighter, who's really somebody that does for others, with Mirla, who always wants to shop and do all of these things.
Right.
So, and I do wonder how that's going to be. I do wonder how they're going to do, because when you do stuff like, well, let's opposites attract type of thing, yes,
Mhm.
sometimes, but if somebody is so blocked, if somebody does not care about your feelings and they just want to get what they want, that's not going to work. That's not going to work. And you put them in a situation where they have to change immediately. Like when you have certain um people that don't have the opportunity to change, that's what dating is for. You
Right.
know the person, you see, okay, well, this is how I compromise, this is how things go before we actually walk down the aisle. But no, you literally turn the corner and this is who you're married to. So yeah, I think that Jose and Rachel can make it, but they really have to communicate. They're gonna really have to communicate.
Yeah, I think people or couples on this show, they lose that aspect of dating because they think we're married at first sight. We're married now. Like we just got to go full in. And I'm like, no, that's what that 8 weeks is for you guys to date and see if you want to stay married. But
I want to talk about what Tia Maria said just said,
yeah,
because I was sitting there when he was trying on the suit, and it didn't really affect me when I saw them barbecuing, when I saw him walking and they have the B-roll and everything. But I was like, oh, he's a diminutive man. Oh, he's a little man. And I thought, is he even 5'9"? I don't know, but I was like, oh, he's short because I'm 5'6", and I just thought, ooh,
When I saw that photo of them like walking down the aisle together, and it's like she's kind of bent over trying to hold his hand and walk down the aisle. That's when I first noticed it. But then I was like, and that suit fitting, I was like, oh, he's little, but he's little, but
he's a little man. And then he said he wanted something a little flash, a little different, and they literally put him in a glitter suit. I was
yes.
like, wow, why would you do that? Like,
Why?
why would you do that? He's a little man. This is gonna
Mhm.
be a lot of fun, but I think that she's all in. I think that she's gonna be really excited, and I hope that they get to know each other. Okay, predictions for the final couple. Let's go with Brett and Ryan. I almost forgot his name.
Brett and Ryan, when you said last week about them interacting, I didn't see it. I didn't see where there could be a disconnect, but kind of the like clips they were showing is it seemed like there was a little, I don't know. When they show clips of them at the aisle, him looking at her, his face just looks like, what am I doing here? Like I don't know. I didn't see any excitement from him in the clips they did show. So it made me think, okay, is there going to be some type of disconnect or whatnot? And you mentioned his conservative side, and she comes out with the boobs out and the red hair. But I thought she looked beautiful. I think she's a beautiful woman, but at the same time, that point you gave, like, do they really match?
Do they really match? That's exactly what I'm thinking. I'm wondering. So, what did you think his type was when you first saw him before you saw Brett? Did you think that he would?
I don't know. I don't know what I thought his, because then the flavor of the week threw me off. So it
Mm,
made me think there's diversity, maybe as far as race as ethnicity, but the type of girl I see him in, like with a girl that's like in flannels all the time and like Ugg boots. That's what I see him with. But I don't know. I don't know what his type is.
if flannels and flannel and UGG boots is what you think, then I think that Brett will be just fine. I
Yeah.
just think like he's very conservative. His family's very conservative. I didn't get it from him, but from his dad, I got MAGA vibes from his dad and stuff like that. And his dad's very like, why can't you just be like this? This is
Right.
the normal way. This is the way I like it. That type of thing. But Brett, I don't know that he knows what he wants. I don't
I
think that
get that.
she is his type. Like she's got a couple tattoos.
Hmm.
I think she might be um redhead, but not that red. I think that sometimes a lot of redheads that are like that strawberry blonde, that a little bit reddish, they'll
Hmm.
go and like let me put a rinse on it, make it even brighter. And I
Hmm.
don't know that he likes that. So I think that that's going to be very interesting.
Right.
Yeah, I think that he seems like he wants like an all-American girl
Yes. Uh-huh.
and a blonde hair, blue eyes, very easy demeanor. She doesn't even give me easy demeanor. And
Hmm.
I mean, she probably is. I think that she really is interested in this. I think that she really wants this, but she doesn't give me that relaxed, easy demeanor. But she does look like somebody that's very in charge and very
Yeah.
put together. Maria and I, we all had our debate, and because I like the red hair, and
Mhm.
I didn't think her tattoos were that bad or anything like
I
that.
think she's so beautiful, but I'm like, is he going to see that? I don't know.
And she's on the thicker side, and like you said, that
Hmm.
all American. I said maybe he likes the all American surfer girl, and but I don't know, where is he going to get surfer in Houston? You know what I'm saying? So I don't know.
Right.
I I didn't get the impression. I was like, he's looking for Kendall Kardashian, and that's not who he got. So and he wouldn't get Kendall Kardashian anyway. But so but at the same time, I was like, okay, if he's looking for a stick figure, he got somebody that's like really um knows herself. I got the impression that Brett like really is knows herself and is in
Me
tune with
too.
herself. Yes, the Taylor Swift. Yes, the Taylor
Yeah.
Swift type.
Yep.
That's
Yep.
it. Yeah,
I
that's
see it.
interesting. I see it. Yes,
Hmm.
that's not what he got. No, that's not
I
what he
don't
got
know. He
at all.
just looks
I
stressed to
think
me
that's
in the clips they showed. I don't know. He looks stressed.
stress.
So I'm like, I'm like, what's the issue? Like, I don't know. I guess we'll see.
I do agree. I agree. I think he looked overwhelmed. I think because I was thinking that Zach just cries because he's overwhelmed, but this guy just looks like he is stressed. He's like, "What the hell did I get into?"
Hmm.
And he didn't start crying, but I think that that's everything was going through his head. Like, what
Hmm.
the hell was I thinking? That's the impression I got walking into the chapel. I said, he just looks like, what the hell was I thinking? That's the impression I got. But I mean, I like the sweet gifts. Anybody, and I said, now that's a time to cry. When he gave the mother-in-law gifts, I was like, okay, that's considerate. So I
Hmm.
said, okay, now then I probably would have cried if somebody brought my mother gifts and flowers or something like that. So his best friend died. Like just reminded me of this. Somebody said, do you think that he's still in the stages of grief?" So, and he's just jumped into this
Wow.
because he's thinking, I need to get to the next steps.
Like
Like
life is short. Yeah.
exactly, and that she has a point. She has a point because sometimes you do things not for the right reasons,
That's
and then
bad.
you get
I
yourself
hope
into
not.
something. Yeah.
Maybe I thought, I don't know. May yeah. My
So,
mind keeps going back to the flavor of the week, flavor of the month comment. So I
mhm.
thought maybe he was tired of that, but I think he is that kind of has something to do with it. He's tired of the temporary things and wants something more permanent. So yeah, and the friend, I think the friend probably opened his mind because he's been in all these temporary situations and you never know what can happen.
So you kept saying this flavor of the month thing.
Hmm.
I'm just remembering what his sister said. He said, "Oh, I can fall in love in 6 weeks or 8 weeks," and his sister said, "You can fall in love in 8 days."
Mm.
So you reminded me of the flavor of
Is
the
he
month.
another Zach?
Yeah. So I wonder if he goes all in and he's the type that will pick two things that he likes about a girl and says, "Oh, she's the one." And she's running to the next guy. She's like, "Okay, I'm done. You're too much."
Hmm.
That's interesting. That's going to be something to see because I agree that the Taylor Swift, he's looking for Taylor Swift and that's not who he got. I don't even know. She looks like an actress like Jessica Chastain or somebody like that for me. So like Emma Stone or something like that. She doesn't look like she's definitely not Taylor Swift.
She gives me a little bit of Jessica Biel vibes, a little bit, but
Hmm. Jessica
I'm,
Biel now,
hmm.
not Seventh Heaven. Jessica Biel.
No, no, not that, not
Yeah.
7-7. No, no, not 7-7.
38. Yeah, Jessica Biel. You know what? You're right. But Jessica Biel's not strawberry blonde. Jessica Biel's not strawberry
Mhm.
hair. But yeah, yeah, you're right. She's definitely, yeah. Mm-mm. So that's funny because I do wonder this. What I do appreciate about this season is I said this before that I would be friends with some of these people. Like I like these people are definitely better than last season. And I said,
Definitely.
I'm just glad. I said we like seeing the stuff like the traditional stuff. We like seeing the fun stuff. Like I like smiling at weddings. I like, happy
Yeah.
couples.
But I still feel like they still pushing the limits a little bit. They still, especially with Merla and Gil.
Who else do you think they're pushing the limits with besides Merlin and Gil?
Let's see. A little, a tiny bit was Zach and Michaela. I just think because of Zach's vulnerability, I don't think they consider that. I think they look great together. It looks romantic and all this stuff from the outside, but when you really see him just like being sucked up in it, it's like, okay, please don't be a female page or a male page on here. But I think who else is there? I don't see that with Johnny and Bo. I don't see that with the other ones, but those two, I kind of have my eye on them. Like, what's
So
going to happen
do you
with
think that? Go ahead.
mhm.
Go
Go
ahead.
ahead. You
Do
go.
you think that? Do you think that Zach got in this too early? He's the only 27-year-old.
Hmm.
He's the youngest one.
There's just I feel like there's his vulnerability. It's so I think I don't even think it's age. Well, at first I thought it was his age because he wasn't over 30, but I think it's just his image. He has like that same thing as Paige, that idleness of marriage and wanting marriage, which I don't feel like that, like the idea of marriage, that's what he wants. And I don't think he knows what he actually wants, what will actually work for him. So that's what kind of scares me about Zach being on the show.
Being sucked up is it's really a great analogy because he is he's looked at his parents, been married what 25 years. He's looked at his two brothers, they're both in relationships, and he's like, I don't want to be out there. I need somebody to count on. But Michaela, she just seems like, and I really gave her rope at the bridal shower. I said, oh, she's having a good time. She's at her bridal shower. I said, oh no. And then at the wedding, I was like, oh no, you really like this. I said,
Right.
oh no, you really like this. Like
Right.
I said, sis, pull back. Because I was like, oh, she's having a good time. This is her bridal shower. She needs to, loosen up, have a good time. This is an experience once in a lifetime. Okay. And I said, oh no, you gotta
I
calm
told
down.
you she's gonna be a wild card because she has kind of like that like sympathetic side, but then she has that she knows how to switch on to that confident, loud Michaela. So I think she'll definitely be like the wild card of the season though.
If they don't communicate and if he doesn't open up and if he doesn't not just open up, he needs to
Speak up.
yeah, and put his foot down on certain things. And he said, and be that man and be that dominating. Yeah, I'm going to just go ahead and say dominating. You can dominate, but not be aggressive towards a woman.
Because
And
it seems like she's taking the lead already. And I don't know. I feel like he doesn't really have boundaries because he doesn't really know what he wants. I feel like the boundaries aren't there. So I think that's why it's so easy for him to get wrapped up in her.
mhm. I didn't know this. I didn't hear Pastor Cal said he idealizes marriage, but I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised. So he's going to get totally wrapped up in her and not know what even he wants.
Hmm.
And so I didn't even think that maybe a lot of people have been saying at 27, he's too young and for to want to do this. I don't think that that's too young, but
The
is
reasons.
yeah,
Reasons go.
the reasons why, and to be matched with someone like her. Now, Zach, and okay, so let's play this game before we get off here because we
Uh-oh.
did this last time. We did this last time. After seeing more, I'm gonna say What if they did Zach and Rachel?
I just visualize them like crying in the corner together. I think they're both too sensitive. I think in some cases opposites do attract, but I think too they're both too on the sensitive side, I think, to be together.
Okay. Would
Imagine one of them's upset, they both just gonna be quiet and
they're both
silent.
just gonna be quiet and crying and just could not put. Who would you match up instead of the current matches?
Oh, maybe I would try Ryan and Rachel. Yes,
Ryan
nice
and
each other.
Rachel. See, and I think that Ryan has this sensitive side that his favorite movie is The Notebook. Like they're just gonna sit there.
That is true.
Yeah, I think
That
they.
is true.
But no, I love Misha's point that that's the two crying Zach and Rachel would just nice each other to death, and they would never communicate. They would never talk, and no,
Yes,
I
it would be a lot of, well, you like that? Okay, I like that too. Yeah, okay. And it's like, oh, no.
neither of them would tell each other what they really want. But this is our both our concerns is like they keep putting these people together, and I'm just like, oh no, this is not going to be good. But they do this, of course, for people to watch and for the drama. But
Hmm.
I don't know. So looking at Mirla and Gil, now that their wedding is already happened, do you think they're gonna last? Predictions. Do you think they'll say yes at decision day? I'll just say that.
It really depends on Gil. That's what I was saying at the beginning. Like, a lot of the weight of the relationship is going to be put on him
Mm.
because she's the one that spends a lot. He doesn't. So now he has to, it's like, does he speak up and tell her to be a little bit more frugal, or does he go along with it? So I think that will play a part in how long they last, and really how she, like, is she someone that can really, if he speaks up, is she someone that will take the advice? Is she someone that can listen? And sometimes it seems like she's like, even I think they show like a preview when she's talking to one of his family members or friends, and they're talking about her spending, and she's like, well, I can afford it. So I feel like she's caught up in the materialistic side of things. So I you yeah, I feel like if he speaks up, it's not really going to change anything. So I think him speaking up or going along with it will kind of direct where the relationship will go.
I like what you said about it really depends on him, but I do agree with you that if he says something and says it, and he tries to lead, she will try to challenge it. And
Hmm.
I think that's the wrong move. Like if he says, yeah, challenge or ask questions, but don't constantly be challenging,
Hmm.
the relationship. That's or fight or argue. So that's going to be interesting. So do you think now that we've seen Bao and Johnny, do you think they'll say yes on decision day?
I really like them. I hope so. I just hope, my only concern is that Bao can kind of catch on to his need for the affection, the reassurance. Can she do that? Is that in her to do that? I don't know. But I think that is something that he needs. So,
So my theory with Johnny saying I want somebody that's going to be over
stage 5 clinger.
I actually think because he's so starved or of the affection from his parents that if she gives him a morsel, if she gives him half of that,
Mm,
he might be
Okay.
okay if she just
Okay.
communicates. But no, I do think it's a red flag that he wants somebody that's constantly clinging on to him. But I do think that if he just listen, I like to be. I don't know that he wants somebody snuggled up. But again, this is me giving people rope again, and
Mhm.
you're already disappointed me. So what did Dia Maria say? Wait. Yeah, I don't understand why they don't match people who completely, what did she say?
Complimentary.
Complementary instead of opposites. It makes me feel that they really do want some tension and drama.
Exactly.
As marrying a stranger isn't enough. Yes, marrying a stranger is already stressful. And so, like we saw with Virginia and Eric, this is already stressful. This man was like, but you're married. This is what you're supposed to do. No, this is not how I'm just supposed to act. I mean, I said, oh, this poor girl is just already panicking. Um,
Mhm.
and he's not listening. And this is already a stressful situation. And my concern with Gil is he's such a nice, sweet guy that is he going to speak up or let her just run all over him? And yeah, they do want the drama. And Pastor Cal always says, well, that's her being superficial. He's going to curb that. Maybe he's not. He he may not curb that. But going back to Bao and Johnny,
I'm
I go ahead. What were you gonna say?
no, I'm just saying, like, I just don't feel like it's fair to Gil what they did with that.
Hmm.
Like he's taking the responsibility of the relationship. Why is he responsible for changing her?
Yes, you're right, and he's not. He's nobody is responsible for changing each other, and it's not going to
Mhm.
work. I do think that Light says something interesting, and this is what I think as well: is that sometimes you just want somebody to. He wants to know that she wants him. You know, he's
Mhm.
already being nice and sweet. He's like, I want to kiss my wife, but I also see that she's very trepidatious right now. I want to see how it is to make out with my wife. I know that that's important, but I think she's very nervous right now, so I'm going to take it slow. He's going to take it slow to a point. He's going to take it slow to a point. But then he's going to be like Miles and be like, "Listen,
Right.
we're having sex." Like I think that, and I agree though. I think that sometimes you want that, and he's the type that he's like, I need somebody that's going to be that person for me. So I'm wondering how that's gonna, because she's, I don't know that she knows how to be that affection. You know,
Mhm.
his love language is physical touch, or I don't know what it is, but that's what it seems like. He's like, I want that, person
Mhm.
that overcompensates. And I don't remember in their intro if he said that he's always the one that's shown that he wants somebody.
Mm,
Yeah. So
yeah.
I agree. I don't think he'll. I think that he will say something, and he's like, I'm not about the Christian Louboutin and the name brand. I'm not about
I
that.
hope so. I really hope so. It was just when they were by themselves, I saw him kind of push back. And it was like I saw in him where he wanted her to like him. He would like he really even when they're talking about the dog hair on the couch, he first says, oh yeah, the dog hair be everywhere. And then he catches that she's not into that. Well, I clean it up. I clean it up. I make sure it's clean. I go behind. You can't go behind no dog every second of the day. Like at some point, there's gonna be hair on the couch, and it's gonna be there. So I don't know.
No,
Mhm.
you're right. He said, but I am an over clean person and I do make sure it's clean. I was like,
Mhm.
I don't think she believes that. I don't think
Right.
he's not believing you. So, and last but not least, so we covered Bao. I think that I'm praying that they're going to make it. I hope that she just relaxes. And if she just relaxes and communicates, they're going to make it. What do you think about Michaela and Zach? I almost forgot his name. Zach. Do you think they're gonna make it?
It's yeah, yeah.
Don't do that.
I see a little slight possibility of toxicness developing, but so it's kind of like that. If they do stay together, do I really want them together? Because will it be healthy for both of them? I don't know.
So
But
you get a little Vincent and Brianna energy.
I I feel the infatuation right now. So I think once they kind of get through that, then we'll see. But yeah, I feel the infatuation right now. I think, like I said before in the beginning, I think she's just gonna take him for a ride. She gonna
Yeah.
put him on a roller coaster, and she not gonna let him off until the ride is done.
She's gonna take him on an 8-week ride, and then she's
Yeah.
like, "Time to get off this train." I don't know. You know what? I stand. I stand with what I said previously. I'm
Mhm.
still side eyeing them. I don't know about them. I'm not sure about them at
Is
all.
it either one of them or is it just them as a couple?
I think something's gonna come up where their communication breaks down, and
Mm,
when that communication breaks down, like I think that her stubbornness is going to really manifest and show up
mm,
and show out. I just have a feeling. I that's my feeling. And then he's so sweet that he's going to be, as you said earlier, crying in the corner. And but I do wonder, as you said something about the other couple, who's it up to? If they make it, it's going to have to be, she's going to have to be doing
yeah.
a lot of compromising. She's going to have to be doing a lot of listening and not um
I feel like she's gonna have to do a lot of decision making because I don't think he really has a vision or a plan. His his vision is what he saw everybody else do. He doesn't have his own vision or plan of what he actually needs,
mm,
what he's going for. He's just what it seems like based off of editing and what they're telling us, it seems like he mentioned some time clock and he needs to be married before 30 and do this and do that. So is it like, is it just a checklist or are you really trying to find that partner?
so we friends, we were going to end this around an hour, but I have that question for you. Have you ever heard of a man having a biological clock?
I have not, never in my life.
Because I haven't either, not to that extent, yeah, not to that extent. If I haven't had, but we're talking about Zach, but Ryan kind of said something as well along those lines.
He
Ryan
did.
said, yeah, he said if I didn't have a child by 25, I was going to adopt. If I didn't have a child by 28, then I'm going to adopt. And then he said 30, I'm going to adopt. Now I'm 35. So that's interesting.
But with Brian, I see where it's like family inflicted, where I feel like his want or need is coming from his family making
Mm,
comments like you're not married yet, you like from, but I don't really see where it's coming from with Zach. I feel like with Zach he's just looking around and seeing everyone with someone but himself. But I don't know, it could be from his family too, but I noticed that difference that with Ryan, it seems like it's coming from the family. That's where he's getting a lot of his opinions on that.
yeah. Light just said something, but I don't know. I think that her stubbornness is her wanting her own way and being the youngest, but her stubbornness is more about people trying to
Huh.
tame her rather than her just wanting things her own way. Um and well, she, to me, her looking at it as being tame and not looking at it as like having an her way is not always the right way. You know,
Hmm.
taking somebody else's opinion, taking somebody else's way, and saying let me look at all options, or let me just do what I want to do, and that's it. So I
Hmm.
just wonder how that's going to be, because I don't know. I don't think it's um because she doesn't necessarily need to be tamed. She's a very accomplished real estate agent. She knows what she wants to do. She knows herself. So that's interesting. That is interesting. Like, I
I
mean,
feel like it was the opposite. I feel like some her family, I don't know. I feel like they kind of go along from what I've seen. They laugh at some of her tactics and things. So I feel like she has, I don't know, it might be far-fetched, but I feel like it's like she has her yes people. So I feel like she has that area to just flow and not really be accountable or take into consideration the things that she's doing.
right. I agree. I actually think that them calling her Hurricane K, and them, that's when they're like letting her know, okay, you need to pull back, you need to calm down. She'll come through like a hurricane and stuff. But they've pretty much, oh, okay, you want to do real estate? Oh, okay, you want to do this? Oh, they're okay with that. And they're loving family. All the sisters stick
Yeah.
together. I love those type of things. But I also think that she's kind of been made to just, let me just do it. Let me just fly by the seat of my pants and just do it.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Even when she made the Zach Jr. comment, the whole family was like laughing, like, there she goes, that's Michaela. And I'm like,
Right. That's where I see a little bit of a Brie in her, where they're like, "Oh yeah, she's bossy. There she goes, being bossy again." No,
how do you feel about that though?
how do I do?
I feel like every season there's a black woman that they paint as bossy, stubborn, controlling, kind of that narrative. How do you feel about that? I've noticed it, but how do you feel about that?
I don't like it. I think that
Mhm.
we have had to um, be secure in ourselves, be confident, and we've had to be leaders. And some of us are born leaders, and some of us have made sure that take care of our families and um, make a way for ourselves. And some of us are, speak up and know how to speak up, but at the same time, when you paint that narrative, it's the narrative is bossy or stubborn or controlling, and we don't look at that as bad because it's not bad. But if you're putting it on camera and you're putting it on a television show and you're putting it in a different light, and it shows a woman taking care of her family and really going to work every day and making her own way, that's put a negative light on it, especially in a very male dominated area. Like Brie was an engineer. That's huge. That's
Yeah.
huge. And a very, to be a successful engineer takes a lot. But when she's had to do that. Okay. Or not had to. I hate saying that, had to. She didn't have to. That's what she really wanted to do. We shouldn't have to be um made to feel like uh, we have to lessen ourselves. We have to be more demure, or we have to. I can still stand up straight. I can still walk into a room, and I can still be confident, and I can still run a presentation and everything. But I also still can have a household with my husband and 4 kids or what have you, and I can still be a lady, but it gives the impression that she's masculine. Or
Yeah.
she's, yeah.
Mhm.
What do you think about that?
I've noticed it. I don't like it. And there's other women on the show they could have easily pulled that narrative with. And it bothers me that it's always the black woman. And it's annoying at this point. Okay, we get it. That's what you think about black women. Okay, let's let them show themselves how like they actually are, and like stop going with this narrative every single season.
And I just started watching it with Miles and Karen. I just started watching it. What was that, season 11?
Mm-hmm.
So, and I think that that's how they painted her. I think that that's well, she's real stubborn. She was really stubborn, and she was really trying to control how she looked. And I think that with her, um, she wasn't bossy or anything, but she really wanted to control the way she looked on camera. She was like, they're going to paint. I think that she was in touch with the fact that they're going to paint this character of me. They're going, and I'm not going to fall in. I'd rather them paint the character of me that being like really demure than painting a different type of character of me.
Mm-hmm.
So you're right. They always want to paint that picture of them. And um we have to be, we as women, especially Black women, we have to know that and understand that this is the
Right.
character that they're painting of her, and this may not be her true self.
Mm-hmm.
And Light just said something. The Black women, they're stubborn, or they're picking these words. You're right, they're picking these words like me, but I don't think they said that about Karen, but um they never said that about Val. They never said, but oh, but she is all of that. She's all,
She,
she's all of that. She's stubborn, and she like you said, she has these fits, and she just goes and flies off the handle, and I don't want a sporty guy or whatever she said last time. But but she's all of that. But they did not paint her that way.
uh-huh.
How interesting. Hmm. What narrative did they give Bao though? I think that I think she's all of that.
They called it OCD. They didn't use the word bossy. They said OCD. I don't know if they said OCD or I don't know, but that was kind of the narrative that they just have, that's just how they are. They have to have something like she has to have her spreadsheets and all this other stuff. So that's I yeah,
You're
that's what
right.
I noticed about.
Bao's OCD, and Michaela is stubborn. Yeah,
Which we've seen
and
Bao's very stubborn.
right, she's very stubborn. But the same thing with last season. I don't remember what narrative they painted of Haley, but Brianna was bossy,
Mm-hmm.
but Haley was stubborn, and all of those things.
Mm-hmm.
They said, okay, they painted Bao as difficult. Okay, but even that's a kind of a syrupy word, Tia Maria. Difficult.
Yeah.
That's not stubborn or bossy. Hmm. Okay. Oh, we're gonna have more discussion about this another time, ladies. I got a docket. This is my board back here of great topics. Thank you so much. We went longer than we were supposed to. Um, Tia Maria, we're gonna be doing. We are gonna be doing. I just lost my train of thought. Because I was gonna I will get the flyer out sooner. Myself or Misha will get the flyer out sooner than later. I'm learning Premiere. I'm learning. Be
Mm-hmm.
patient with me. But Misha and I are gonna be doing Put a Ring on It. We got stuff to talk about. If you guys have seen whew, the end of Put a Ring on It. Oh my gosh. But I agree with Maria S. I am losing brain cells. I was like, I
Yeah.
can't believe I'm sitting through this. And then I actually got up to do something else, and I saw the premiere for last week. I really was, and I was like, whoa, wait, what? So I agree with Maria. Like, I am losing brain cells. Like, wait, what? So we are going to be talking about that. Please stay tuned for August. I've got a lot more podcasts to talk about, more discussions. We might be doing a coffee chat with myself and some other ladies, and then I'm going to be doing a 3-part series on Black men and colon cancer. Maria, you have the final say to sign
Who,
off.
me? You
You.
said Maria. So it's like,
Oh, because I was just talking about Maria. Nisha, sorry.
oh, thank you guys for watching. Make sure you subscribe to both of us on YouTube. My YouTube is Nisha Allen, Crystal Lynette, and thank you guys for watching.